Welcome to our presentation for streaming service analysis of group number 5. We will start with agenda today. We will meet our team first and introduce the subject and data source and explain the tool we have used for this project. And then we will have a project process, code explanation, data visualization, and demonstrate our code and data visual. And lastly, we will have conclusion for this project. For our team, we have June as a data programmer. She will explain the code for web scraping, sentiment analysis, and saving data to MongoDB today. And we have Nana as a business analyst, and she will introduce the conclusion of data analysis. And we have myself, Jiyoung, as a business analyst, and I will going through this presentation today. And lastly, we have Shivanshi as a data analyst, and he will explain the data visualization using Power BI. This is the data source and subject we used. The subject, our project is to compare the reviews for our streaming service, which is Netflix, Apple TV, Hulu, and Disney Channel. We used Consumer Affairs as a source site, and this is the site of Consumer Affairs. There are reviews for each streaming service, and there are overall ratings here. So we thought it would be interesting to compare the overall rating in the site and our analysis result. And this is the tool we used for our project. For web scraping, we used the Beautiful Soup and Python. And for the analysis, we used the Python and Panda and Vader for sentimental analysis. And for storing data to the cloud database, we use the MongoDB. And for data visualization, we use the Power BI. This is the project process. Firstly, we choose the data source for web scraping. And secondly, scrape text and image from source site. And thirdly, we performed sentiment analysis using scripted text from review site. And firstly, we store the data scripted data to cloud database. And lastly, we create dashboard for sentiment analysis and image recognition using Power BI. And this is the code for web scraping. So we have Netflix and Disney Channel and Apple TV and Hulu. And this is the code for sentiment analysis. And this is the code for storing data to MongoDB. And this is our dashboard for data visualization using Power BI. So we have the analysis on Netflix and Apple TV and Hulu and Disney Channel. So from here, Sarjun, who is the programmer in this project, will demonstrate to her code from now on. Thank you.
And demonstration on how I've ran my collected the data. So we've used Beautiful Soup and requests. So using requests, I've got the URL of the site, and from this URL, I use Beautiful Soup to get the content and HTML parser, and I just wanted specific part, so I gave that link there, or just the part that I want to get, and print it as the text so that only the text value would come up. And also I've collected the image using this as well, and printed the image so that I'll be getting the text and the URL of the image. So here are the results, and at the end you get the URL that I want for the image, the logo. And same thing for the Disney Plus, the website, the content I want, and then the image. And then for Hulu and Apple TV. And I've put that in a chart so I can easily see the service date and the review. And then I ran the sentiment vader. So sentimental analysis will show the positive, negative, neutral of the analysis to see if how positive the data is, how negative the data, and how neutral it is. And once the compound, the polarity is the combination of this. So if you add all this up, it will show the final overall sentimental analysis. And I've put that into the chart as well. So, and I ran it as JSON so that the file would be in JSON file. And I've put that in the MongoDB, the cloud base that I've chose to put it in. So using PyMongo and Mongo client, I got the link, and then set the client's name, and then put the data that I've obtained from here into the MongoDB. And if I go to my collection, you can see all the information here, reviews, and polarity, and all the information is all loaded up in the MongoDB. And using this information here, we've conducted a visualization, which Shivansh will be talking about.
Thank you, Sol. Let me just share my screen. So this is the visualization for analysis. You can see the average neutral value is the highest with the 0.78. Second one is average positive value, which is 0.18, while the negative value is 0.04. As you can see over here, the count of sentimental analysis is the most, with positive sentimental analysis is the most with 81.2%. Next to it is 15.38% negative, and the final is the neutral with 3.42%. So this is the average polarity of the all services. So let me just change to Apple. So the average polarity of Apple is 0.72. With the time, as you can see, the polarity decreases and there is a drastic changes, especially after October 1st, 2017. Uh, Next to it is Disney Plus, which has average polarity of 0.61. So in the starting, it's showing um, uh, quite negative polarity, but it increases with the time. As you can see, let's go to Hulu. With Hulu, it was like first it was a good, and then it decreases, and then it again picks up after 17th of May. And finally, with the Netflix, the average polarity is increases from May 21st, 2020, uh, and it decreases again with the time. So this is how the polarity stands, and this is the average polarity of all of the streaming services. So for the conclusion, I'm gonna pass on to my colleague. She's gonna explain the conclusion. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is sorry, I'm Jiyoung. Sorry. All right. Thank you, Shivant. This is Alphonse's Grace, and based on the analysis, I'm taking up the conclusion for the sentimental analysis. And we can all see, due to the lockdown, people are tuning into various stations as most people are home. And this analysis is to check which station people tune into most, and predict the emotions behind it, whether the is a neutral, positive, or negative sentiment. And as we know, people go for the ones with the higher rating, as they believe they have a better content or packages or programs to offer them. And from the viewers' review, we see that Netflix is at a 4.1 rating, followed by Hulu TV, which is rated at 4 stars. Apple TV has a 3.5 stars rating, and Disney Plus has the lowest rating, which is 3 stars. And these ratings are from what we got online. And from our sentimental analysis, Apple TV has an average of 0.72 review polarity, followed by Disney, which has a 0.61 average polarity. Hulu has a 0.56 average polarity, and Netflix has 0.55 average review polarity. And checking from what we have here, the ranking or the rating for each program, we try to see if it will match with our results. That's the rating we got online will match with our results. And we got the recent, both we can see from the reviews and the polarity, they don't correlate that much. And I believe this is because we used the most recent 30 reviews from each of the stations for the analysis. It's not like more data. It's just 30 recent reviews. And this might probably account for the difference in the polarity and the site reviews rating for each station for the analysis. Thank you.
And I'm Jiang, the business analyst again. And here is the reference site we have used. So we have a consumer affairs. We use the consumer affairs site for the data source. And we refer to the previous assignment by another group from the YouTube's. And we will put our video link in here. So it's all for our presentation today. So thanks so much to listening to our presentation.